Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here to talk about tools. Why do we buy these nice tools? What's the point of it? And what are the benefits of using quality, nice tools? Let's get into it. So, as a lot of you know that have been here on the channel for a while, I'm a huge fan of very nice tools. And a lot of you guys have probably even wondered, why do I constantly upgrade things all the time? And what all do I do? Well, we're going to probably do a couple videos over this, but number one, I wanted to cover like the top few reasons to buy quality tools and the reasons that mean the most to me. Number one, above all else, I like to enjoy my job. So for me, using a quality tool makes my job more enjoyable, makes it easier to do, as well as faster. All three of those are very important to me. The first two are just personal things. The third one, saving time. When we're contractors, handymen, whatever we are, time is our money. Like that is what it is. So being able to cut time off of a job and make it, quicker to do makes us more money. And the way it does that is, for instance, when I tell people what I charge as a daily rate, whether it's just me by myself, that's $1,000 per day, or me and a helper at $1,250 per day, on up like that. The reason you can do that and charge like that, and so many people tell you there's just no way in my market and everything, it's efficiency, quality of work, and speed of completion. Customer satisfaction, basically, is tied to all three of those components. So if you're able to get in there, do what you say you'll do it when you say you'll do it, and finish on time, ahead of schedule, and under the time that you figured, that's where the money is made. So if you have a tool, say we have a 5-hour job ahead of us, and you have a tool that can save you 20% on time, you've shaved an hour off. So if you're used to charging a certain amount of money for 5 hours of your time, and now you've invested in a tool that can cut a full 20% off of your time, are you not worth 20% more for the hours you were there? You're still going to charge for the whole 5 hours. Just because you finished it in 4 doesn't mean you're not entitled to that. That's what the job was worth. And that doesn't change. So the more nicer and nicer tools you get, or specific tools, specialized tools, some things, there are literally tools out there that can shave, half the time off of a job. It just depends on what you're doing and whether there's a specialized tool made for that job. And sometimes they're totally worth the investment. For instance, on a very, very basic level, sanding. We all do it. I'm sure most of us hate it equally. But if you're working with a subpar sander with just normal sandpaper and all that stuff, think of how long something takes you to do with that. Now bring into play something like a Mirka or a Festool Rotex, or really any Festool sanders like that, and there are other high-end brands like that. When you bring those in, that is a really quick way that a lot of people can see easily how much time savings there are. There's a load of YouTube videos out there that can show you how rapidly you can sand compared to a lower-end sander. And that applies to a lot of things. If you have saws that are more accurate, like even, the DeWalt, the big 12-inch DeWalt's, if you have it set up right, very good saw. The Festool Capex. If you're doing a lot of something and you can speed that process up by using a better tool, then it's costing you money not to. It really is. That's the way I look at it. I only have so much time in this life, and if I can make every minute count when I'm on a job site, to me that is incredibly important. I don't like any wasted. It goes back to, what is it? Cheaper by the Dozen. Back in the day, we used to read that. If you actually read the book and didn't just watch the movie and say, yeah, I know, one of those people, the book's better than the movie, but whatever. There's a line in there, several, where what he's concerned with is wasted motions. Every motion you can remove from a process And he's based it on watching a factory, watching how it all works out, and then recording that, and then choosing motions that can be sped up, removed, consolidated, whatever. And I apply that to most of what I do in contracting as far as my tools, my time, and all that goes. There's a balance between how much you spend on a tool, how much time it will save you, and how much the expendables that go with that tool cost. Are you going to have specialized expendables, certain paper it requires, whatever. You need to balance those three things before you know that your business can do that, though. If you're just starting out, your most efficient thing may be a couple of nice, DeWalt sanders, maybe even their new battery ones, which I need to try really soon, hopefully. I know I'm big into my Festool sanders, but I'd really like to compare both of those. Anyway, let's not go over there. So, if you can find how much it will save you to make that investment and it's worth it, then you really need to do it for your business. So, I'm not here just to sell you tools, but I'm here to help you understand with this video why I spend what I spend on tools. And it's that same reason people tell me there's no way you could charge that, what your company charges, in my area. But I bet you, yes, I can. And you can too. It's how much you're putting out in a day. How much work are you really completing in that day? Are you fully optimized to make every minute count? Because if you are, your time is worth tremendously more than it is if you're just making do, hacking it together, making tools work that don't really, meet the exact thing that you need for the job, all those kind of things. And we can't own every single tool. There's no way. I'm not advocating for that. But if you have a job you do every single day, and a lot of this starts with something as basic as your hand tools. What drivers do you use every day? What drills, impacts, all this kind of stuff. Down to your screwdrivers, your pliers, everything. Use tools that will speed you up, save wear and tear on your joints, your elbows, your hands, your knees. Get things that are ergonomic, safer, all that. Same reason, running a saw stop. I know they're controversial here and there, but a saw stop, if it saves me one trip to the ER in my entire life, I could have bought 3 of them, okay? Probably 3 PCS saws like are here in my big shop. So to me, that is worth it. It's a cheap insurance policy. That it may not be to you. It depends on how you value different things. If your time is not worth as much, then you may not be quite there yet in your business. It just depends. And I'm not trying to put you in a spot with your business. It's just explaining why I do what I do. Number 2 on buying these nice tools, tax savings. I'm not a tax professional. Consult your own CPA and tax attorneys or whatever for this. But in my experience, my write-offs I get every year are absolutely incredible. Every little thing that I buy, tool-wise, it's a write-off. I'm using it in my business. I get to write that off. And in my experience, once I've passed up my normal deductions, I am saving somewhere around 30% between my, my state income tax, my federal income tax, my self-employment tax, and whatever other tax they love to hit you with. 30% is fairly close to what that is. So you think about that. If you buy a $100 tool and you're able to write it off because your business is making enough money, that's important too. If you're not clearing expenses yet, you're not bringing home profit at the end of the year, then this is not for you. You need to focus on building your business, buying the tools you have to have just to make it, to get this thing going. This is more for once you've run a business for a while. I've been at this 10, 11 years now. Eventually you have a good client base and all this, and the profit is there to reinvest in the business. Saving 30% per tool is huge. Huge. It's like a permanent tool sale on everything. If it relates to your business, there you go. Now, I can't justify it on my truck because I take mileage on my truck, because in my experience, running a slightly used truck and taking mileage on it at the rate they give you is usually the best option you could possibly do there, at least for my taxation. So investing in tools, it ends up paying you back if you have the income to cover the expenses. Okay? This gets harder later on in your business because Eventually, spending $100 on a couple of screwdrivers is not going to save you enough money. You're going to need to invest in larger items, and you just work your way up. Someday, I'll be at the point where, in order to get the write-off I need to buy, a nice lift. I would love to have a nice lift for working on some of these really steep roofs and things. But I'm not there yet. The business is growing, and someday we may be. You may already be there. But you buy a $30,000 lift or something like that, and you get to save nearly a third on that taxes. Imagine, that's like $8,000-9,000 savings on your tax bill at the end of the year because you spent that as long as you needed the write-off. But anyway, I just wanted to go a few of those reasons, and that's why I keep upgrading tools all the time, because efficiency is key in making the most you can as a company. So my Festool tools, my sustainers, whether you're using packouts, you're using any kind of organization, being organized and constantly optimizing these things. If you got a tool on your truck that you haven't used in a month, you don't need it on your truck. Okay? Slim it down. And I'm sure I have a few too, but I'm constantly trying to filter those things off the truck, back into the trailer, something, anything that needs to be moved into a less used location. Same with my Vito bags, my Go bag that goes into every single house is constantly being optimized. That's why, I bought the new TPXL, already knew what tools I needed in it, so I ordered all brand new ones for it. Yeah, I know, I got a lot of crap for that. But anyway, you put all new tools in there because I already know exactly what I need in that bag, and I don't want to gut my MCT and my other bags in order to fill it. So now I have all those tools set up in job-specific bags, from just a general go-in bag for an exam on a house. It depends on what's wrong in there, a faucet repair, a little lighting repair, electrical, this, that, whatever. The basics are all in one little bag. Then there's a dedicated plumbing bag, dedicated electrician bag, dedicated everything bag. That's just my way of doing it. And I can grab one thing, I know what it is, and not only that, when you have helpers that work for you, if you can tell a helper, go get the DRLC bag out of the back seat. They can roll that up and go, says DRLC right there on the side. That's the drill bag that he's wanting in there. That's got basic concrete bits in it. It's got regular driver bits. You've seen the loadout over on that. Check it out if you haven't. It's got my drills. It's got batteries for them. Does not need a charger in there because if a battery's dead, it does not go back in that bag. It goes to the charger area of the decked system in the truck. So these things are constantly optimized every single night. If you spend like 30 minutes just kind of going over everything, make sure you're fully set up. Even on the weekend, spend an hour or two on the weekend. Go over your truck, make sure things are ready for next week. If you have any specialized work coming up the next week, make sure those items are on the truck. If you're going to need an air compressor, you're going to need whatever. Or if you're just pulling your trailer, if I have a big enough job, I will pull my trailer. But I've gotten farther and farther away from that as I take more jobs that I can either leave things on site or just leave the trailer on site. That's also nice. But I just wanted to tell you guys why I buy the tools I buy and why you see so many new tools showing up here. They're tax write-offs. If they speed me up at all, think of the money that little tool is making me. Like my drywall tools, everything. Investing in your business is rarely a bad idea if you plan on sticking it out and staying with your business. And for me, I've been at this long enough, I don't see me doing anything else. So until I have enough rentals to retire, this is me. But just want to tell you guys that I appreciate everybody stopping by. I appreciate all you guys here, every subscriber. Really enjoy having you guys here. See y'all on the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button down there if you enjoyed this video. Give me a couple comments down there. What do you do for organization? How do you make your business the best it can be? See you on the next one.